My novella, unlike the Amigos. Ian, our narrator, is an elderly bachelor in love with Elise, a useful grandmother, to her 12-year-old orphan granddaughter, Nancy. Minerva is their very wealthy Albertan captor, protector, benefactress. They're on the road fleeing everybody because, through a quirk of quantum physics, they're protecting 3 miniaturized Jurassic creatures that suddenly landed in Ian's lap in a restaurant. Hugh, a Jurassic elephant, not that big. Mike, a miniaturized Jurassic dinosaur, equally small. And Dexter, a miniaturized baboon. Chapter 25, Parting. Sensing Elise and I were leaving, Dexter quietly held his hands up to us in the most poignantly painful of human gestures. Hugh trumpeted gently 3 times, and Mike simply stood staring up at us with brimming eyes. Heart squeezed beyond anything I've ever felt, other than the deaths of beloved cats and dogs, I silently turned away, to overcome by sorrow to even shed a tear. As for Elise, all she did was smile down at them and say, "See you later, boys. Do as Nancy says." Then she held my hand for the second time and walked me outside to the RV, Nancy strolling behind us, humming happily, and thus, cruelly, it seemed to me. Chapter 26, No. Looking up at me behind the wheel, Minerva laughed and said, "Even I wouldn't recognize you now. I suggest you guys barrel in plain view right down the Trans-Canada Highway, except for gassing up. There's a safe on board with lots of cash. Anybody recognize you in the next 12 months? Someone undoubtedly will, hopefully as far down the road as possible. Say the little guys died just outside Wawa, Ontario, and you swap their bodies in your Volvo there with a Texas passing through like you with this RV. I'll forge the paperwork and courier to you general delivery at Winnipeg Central Post Office. You'll be there by the time you are the day after tomorrow. When you get to Newfoundland, I suggest you bum around locally for a month, and then do the same with each province on your return trip, including the territories in BC. That'll take about 14 months, all told. By then, you'll have related your story to the world, somehow, somewhere, and sent the bloodhounds south. After that, come back by train and stay here permanently. Someone's got to outlive me, and I suspect it'll be Nancy, complete with a quantum physics PhD, for starters. To which Nancy added, grinning, "The world needs to understand how the boys got here and why they shrunk, so I'm going to find out." When I turned to Elise and asked how long she'd known all this would be happening, she said, "It was when I saw Minerva sipping soup at the diner, with a mosquito chopper outside and no one else about. The way she looked at us, too. All-knowing, but without menace. I'm surprised you missed it, especially after the smoothness of our capture and the welcome that followed. Did you really think there wasn't purpose in all of that? Destiny, even?" Don't answer. Wave bye-bye to Nancy and step on the gas. We have a year or so to get to know each other, unencumbered by responsibility, as well as to work on your nervous Nelly tape, which has to go. But what if we get caught by villains? What do we say to them about the guys and Nancy? They won't believe that Texas thing, and they won't believe Nancy's visiting friends until the press stops hounding us. We could get tortured, even killed. We won't get caught. Can't you feel it? No. Chapter 27, Land's End. 6 days later, standing at the lighthouse of Cape Spear, Newfoundland, the easternmost locale of all of North America, looking out at an invisible England, I held Elise's hand for the 3rd time and apologized for failing at more or less every critical moment before and after our departure from Nancy to go with the flow. To which she, squeezing my hand gently before releasing it, replied, "If you were perfect, you wouldn't be here."